In this video, we're going to be talking about condition and if statements. Of course, we're going to be talking about many other if-else statement and many other conditional statements in an upcoming videos. But in this video, we'll focus only on if statements. C# support the usual logical condition from mathematics, like if it's raining, then stay at home. If the password is correct, let him log in. And if it's not, don't execute. So let's hop over to our Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio, and let's get our hands dirty with code. To do that, I'm going to create another page called conditions. I'll right click, add a web form master page. Now once you select from this, it will automatically come to this page, since Microsoft will assume that you want to be using this frequently. So I'm going to click on it from here. I'll call it condition. I'll select the name so that I can paste it to the master page. Excellent. The next thing I'm going to do is to go to the master page and change the name to conditions. And change the page to this. I'm going to change this one to lesson 1 project. That will be our program name. I'll hop over to the condition now. I want to use the same format, the div, the row, and all that. Jumbotron. I'll copy this and paste it inside the content. We're going to change this one to conditional statement. Conditional statements. You'll learn more about conditional statements. I'll get rid of this because I will no longer need it. It's just a simple if statement. So I'm going to bring up the meaning of if statement. I'll hop over to my conditional and if statement, C# conditions and if statement. So let's name it that way. And this. What is if statements? Don't forget it's part of our keywords. What we're trying to do is just to name our keywords to get ourselves familiar with our keywords, and after that we learn how to combine all our keywords together to form a very to create a very powerful application. I want to get all these lists added. To do that, I'm going to use UL on other list. If you're not familiar with UL, I would recommend you go for the front-end development application. You can study for week 2. You will be able to get all of this. And I'm going to place another one, LI. I'm going to place another one. Okay. And LI, let's do it this way so that it will be faster. This comes to this place and equal. And the last but not the least will be this. So we're dealing with if statements. These are things you can test with each if statement using C#. Let's copy this as well, so that when you're going through the code, you will be able to understand the concept. I'm going to create a p tag here, so that this one will not be within the list. If you're dealing with each statement, there are things you can test. You can test if a value is less than or equal to b. Suppose this one is 1 less than b, 2. You can test less than or equal to, that is a or 5 less than or equal to 3. You can test greater than or greater than or equal to. You can test if they are both equal, and you can test if they are not equal. These are ways you can test your values. This can only work for string, but the rest can work for mathematical equations or conditions. Let's suppose to our app. We already have output 1 select displayed. I'm going to work on this testing conditions. Excellent. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to fire this event. This will automatically create a function for me, and the name of the function is this. Don't worry, we're going to be dealing with functions much later. Now, if you notice one thing, we've been using don't forget that using is about referencing other people's projects in your projects. And thanks to Microsoft, they've written quite a number of codes for us so that we can just tap and use the namespace, the partial class, and all that. Now, the next thing I want to do is we want to test if A is less than B. To do that, I want this to be very dynamic. I'll go back to my code. Let's add something. I'm going to bring on board a text box. Text box is similar to inputs, so that when user type in, it's going to give us something, and we execute an action. I'm going to say first number, first text. I'll break it down to next line. Then second text. I'll say second text. And I'll break it down to next line. Now what I want to do is I want to compare the value of this with the value of this and give me the answer. To do that, I'll hop over, because I've already have button 1 selected. Don't forget you can change the name of your button here. It doesn't really matter because we're not dealing with many codes here. I'll go to conditions and select. Now that I know what I want to do, the first thing I want to do is I want to compare if A is less than B, then say something. To do that, I'm going to get the value of text box from user input. And to get the value of text box from the user input, I want it to be integer this time around. So I'm going to say int first value equals text plus 1 dot text. Like I said the other time, text box, all text box will be in they are in string, and you need to convert it to integer. To convert it to integer, there are two ways to convert it. You can either say int.pass, that is, I want to pass this to integer to work, or you use convert dot to integer. I'll use convert dot to integer. This will also work as well. But I prefer one more than the other. I prefer this. This will give me opportunity to be able to pass up to like 3 billion values and more. The next thing I want to do is I want to do this in second value equals convert dot to integer. I'll set the second value dot test. But one thing I need to understand that suppose my user types something that is not an integer, it's going to break my code. I can use try catch. I'm going to be talking about that one later. But pending the time, I want to ensure that my user does not type anything other than number. If it types anything other than number, my JavaScript code will run and will not allow it to work. To do that, I'm going to set test mode. It's part of the properties of text box. I will limit it to, you can limit it to color, date, time, and all that. Multi-line, password, and all that. I'm going to limit mine to number. So if you want this text box run to be a password, you select password. We're going to be dealing with many of this later. I'll do the same for the second text box. Excellent. With this, you will be able to validate user input before sending it to server. But you shouldn't rely on this alone. It is better you do try catch here too. But we're not going to be talking about try catch here. We'll focus on this alone because we don't want to waste much time on this. The next thing I want to do is I want to write if first value is less than second value. If it's less than second value, I want the output label dot test to be yes. Yes plus first value plus is less than second value. I'll say second value. Excellent. But if it's not going to be less than second value, what I want to do is once this condition is met, I want this code not to run again. I'm going to say, hey bro, I've achieved what I want to achieve. I want you to break this code. Don't run further. Okay. I'm going to use small letter break, not the capital letter. But it's showing an error here. I'm sorry. This is not supposed not to be break. It's supposed to be return. Return means, hey, once you get to this place, don't run other codes that are here. So return means stop execution and return to normal state. So if this is not met, I want my output dot test to be ordinary no. Excellent. Let's try our code. I'll read this code and go to the conditions, right click, view in browser. I'll hop over to my browser to see what is going on. This is our enum. Let's see what we have here. let's say one program, I can go back to home page, strings, and this is enum, and this is if else condition. Here, what is if else and all that? So we're testing for this. I'm going to say 7 and 9. What will be my answer? Yes, 6 is less than second value 8. Excellent. But if it is 4, it's going to give me no. Now suppose I want to type 60y and all that. This will not break my code. This will tell me, please enter a number. That's the power of text mode. Okay, I'll hop over to my condition to the server. Let me remove this. And let me put a space here so that it's going to be very okay. Now, one other thing I can do for the second one, if this is less than or equal to do that, I'm going to use the same code. I'll just put it this way. This condition will still be met if 6 is equal to, if first number is equal to second number. That is, if 6 equals 6, this condition will be met. But if this is greater than this, let's write another number, another function, if statement. This time around, I'm going to say if it is greater than this. Now, the difference between the less than and less than or equal to is that if first number is still the same thing as second number, this code will still run. But if it is less than, if it is 6 and 6, it's not going to run. The same thing goes here. If first number is greater or equal to second number, it's going to run. And if it is greater, it's going to run. And if it's equal to it, it's going to run as well. So we're going to say yes, first number is greater than or equal to the second number. With this, my application will run because this condition will be met. And once this condition is met, all other conditions will not run again. Now let's take our code in action. I'm going to click on build and go to my code. I'll right click. Okay, this one to send to server is better to use enter. I'm going to say 7 and 9. The first one will run. Yes, 7 is less than 9. And if it is 10, the first if statement will not run. The second if statement will run. Yes, 10 is greater or equal to 9. And if it is 9, yes, 9 is less than 9. Why? Because the two conditions are met. This and this will be met. So I'm going to say less than or equal to. Now, because of this equals, this one will run first and neglect the second one. That is how it works. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to introduce equal to. To do that, I'm going to run this again. I'll put this to be the first so that this one will be equal. So if they are equal, this condition will run. Yes, first number is equal to. I'm going to change this one to equal to as well. When I run this, if 6 equals 6, this will run and never to run the other one. And if it's not, this will run as well. I'll put the last one there as well. But this time around, I want this one to be at the back, at the last. Now, this condition is very tricky because you're saying if this condition, if this is not equal to this, run this application. Don't forget one of these must have met the condition. So this will not run. But if you want it to run, I'm just trying to show you the difference anyways. Obviously 6 will not ever be equal to 7. So this condition will not run. But if you are using this condition, note the meaning of this is that this one is not equal to this. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. Now let's run our code again for the last time. I'm going to click enter. I'll press enter. I'm going to say 78 and this. One of the conditions we know, yes, 78 is less than or equal to 97. Did that one run? Yes, 750 is greater than or equal to 97. In the future videos, we're going to be used if this statement is on, then else execute another quest statement. So we're going to be using if else. Thank you for watching.